Now, if I'm talking about turning to God, let's go back to science of mind basics. Where do we say God is? You've been listening! Yay, yes! Everywhere. Our core philosophy is that God is fully and equally present everywhere, not always fully expressed, right? Like God lives in all of us, so all of us have the same potential to experience and express love. We don't always express it to the fullest, but the potential to do so is always there. So God is everywhere, including right at the center of our being. So if that's true, and we talk about turning to God, I mean, how many ways have you heard about this? You have a problem, don't focus on the problem, turn to God. You know, turn to God for the answer, turn to God for the guidance. Where are we supposed to turn? Is it like God is fully and equally present everywhere, but just a little bit more fully and equally present to the northeast? Is that northeast? I think it's north. Anyway, it's obviously all a concept, right? In science of mind, what we teach is that, yes, while God is everywhere present and God is part of our nature, you know, that is, our true nature is God's nature, well, part of that nature is freedom, is free will, that we have the free will to discover our divine nature for ourselves. And in that process, we can also perceive ourselves to be separate from God. And wherever we feel separate from God, where we feel disconnected from good, that gives rise to fears, that gives rise to thoughts and behaviors that lead to all the conditions out there in the world that don't look very godly. But the issue that we want to look at is because we have this free will, in many ways, we haven't yet awakened to our oneness with God. We don't really fully see and feel ourselves to be one with an all goodness that can never be anything but love and joy and wholeness and abundance. If we were immersed in that sense of that presence that's in us, around us, in everyone, no matter what anything looks like, we would never suffer. You know, nothing in the world would deter us from knowing and sensing that goodness that we could bring to any situation. So whatever's going on out there, we would have a feeling of there's a way to bring love to it. Whatever is going on out there, there's a way to bring a consciousness of peace and make something more peaceful out of any turmoil that's going on. That's the way we would think. We would think like the Christ-minded beings that, you know, we teach. We're not just Jesus, Buddha, Krishna, beings that knew their oneness with God all the time, beings that no matter what was going on wouldn't stop loving us, because if we were not behaving to the best of our abilities, they still loved us because they knew that we just hadn't awakened to our God nature yet. That's all that's going on. So when we talk about turning to God, we're talking about redirecting our thoughts, turning our awareness away from the conditions of the world and inward to a greater sense of knowingness, of connection with something so great, that how great thou art presence that Dean sang about, that is in us and around us always.